Imagine this. Truckloads of fertilizer are dumped directly onto a golf course and washed away into streams. On some farms, the amount of nutrients used can cause algae to grow directly onto the soil. When phosphorus and nitrogen from these fertilizers get into the water runoff, they enter big bodies of water like this and cause catastrophic effects for the economy and the ecosystem. This catastrophe takes the form of massive algae blooms that increase in frequency across the country. Since the mid-90s, algae blooms in Lake Erie have been increasingly toxic and increasingly big, devastating the nation's largest charter fishing boat industry, the commercial fishing industry, and tourism. It also has a direct impact on the general public. In 2014, a bacteria created by algae caused the drinking water supply for 500,000 people in Toledo, Ohio to be contaminated. A state of emergency was declared and the National Guard had to be called in. What is being done to prevent this from happening again? The Ohio government has made this one of their top priorities, yet it's taken months and months for a bill to be passed regulating fertilizer use. The bill was signed in early April and will not go into effect until early July, past the spring planting season when it would have a real effect. It is important that this story is told now, to recap what happened last summer and also outline what could be happening for algae blooms this upcoming summer. In my article, you will hear voices from the U.S. Congress about legislation called the Drinking Water Protection Act, which is currently in the works and would prevent drinking water catastrophes like that happened in Toledo, Ohio, by increasing testing and also increase testing around the country so that this thing doesn't happen in places like the Everglades, where the drinking water supply is threatened by toxic algae blooms that could impact 8 million people. Also in my article, you will hear from farmers and fishermen, the Ohio Farm Association, a fisherman in South Florida, both sides of the issue so you get a full picture. The problem with algae blooms is a story that needs to be told. I believe I am the right person to do it. Through my environmental journalism class, I've learned to examine both sides of the story, capture an interesting scene, and explain the science behind the issue clearly and directly. My story will take the form of an article and have the potential to have maps and timelines, infographics that would show the extent of algae blooms across the country and predict what could be happening in the future. Businesses and ecosystems are changing. Will they survive? Will the problem of algal blooms be solved this year, in 5 years, in 10 years? Thank you so much for your time.